Good morning, afternoon, and good night to everybody through time zones and communication signals, traction positions to the connections. It's great to see coming into new recruits. We're coming into Mario Reynolds. She's already a life formation system into higher self. So I traveled her positions out of her avatar into computers. So it's going to take her a while to get into adjustments. It's very powerful how we come into this through our body system. Truly understand the interdimensional settings is understanding our communications to our chakra rotation centers. So congrats, Mary. Welcome to the Rebellion Alliance. You're going to come a lot more through connections to the Force team as they can help you out as we go through more travel positions. The center core positions is activating everything in the core system. Now we're coming into the mind telepathy of systems of 5-dimensional settings, which means that the earth is in a different environment. Okay, your water intakes are going to be different. Your taste is going to be different. Your senses are going to be different. Especially in communications, I mean, coming into 100 chakra rotation center positions of GOD, geometrics of operation dimensional systems. Then we come into the divisions, and then we come into all connections of direction. So congrats on Tina to the Rebellion Alliance and Force team. She's been with me over a year now, I think, and more than that. It's understanding how we're all connected through line signals. But she channeled her positions and she drew exactly what she needed to do through test review and evaluations. But again, it's also great to see new recruits. So, Mary, you have nothing to worry about. If you're watching this channel through connections, you'll formulate on higher levels of division. And you put yourself in a better position to who we are, especially with the Force team. It's all about coming into the mind telepathy system. So I'd like to set up a class for telepathy. Okay, so it's all about communicating through anything through shapes, letters, and numbers. What number are you thinking? What are you thinking through a fruit? What are you thinking through anything through connection of a structure? What are you thinking about a place, a thing, an object, whatever? But we have to get into telepathy. Our mind collaboration centers have to truly understand more of the calculation of the Earth core system. Now I set up TikTok. You can join me on TikTok too. The link is below. Check it out. It's very powerful how we're coming into this, and I'm coming into so many platforms of communications. It's all about us coming together through one light system, one light activation, one center position to our calculation, to our chakra rotation center positions. That's truly understanding where we're coming through formation line system. Okay. So I want to get into the test because it's important that you guys really understand what you're doing through your travels of thoughts, recognition of times and lights. Now, it's amazing how we see these things. Now, Tina has set up a lot of illustrations. It's amazing how she goes into solar text and it's so small through connections. Tina, yes. Sylvia, Silver King, how's it going? Questions or comments you can give to you later on connections to my email if you want to go through my healing, open up your 12 chakra rotation center positions. It's understanding where you are through the interdimensional setting. You're connected to your travel rotation line system that's connected to all fragmentations of your computer upper center positions. So I know exactly where you are through connections of travels of your thoughts. But before we do that, thank you all the subscribers and viewers who've been watching my channel. As we keep going into grand rising, force rising, putting ourselves into better positions of time positions. Now, the Earth is changing its center core position, which means that the 5th dimensional system, the power connectors and its connection to you through your chakra line communication, is trying to understand what you're doing through its resonance. Okay, it's the resonance of you through connection. It's the love cycle through your life system and how you're connecting to higher forms of thoughts through your telepathy system. Telepathy system, telepathy system, telepathy system, telepathy system. Now, when I say telepathy, I'm talking about everything that's connected to your transmission light. This is your third eye. What does it mean? Okay. So the traction location is trying to understand your positions and what you're doing through all shapes. You're going through a thought, it travels through the recognition lights, but it goes up. And when it goes up, it travels. And when it travels, it creates. When it creates, it goes through its alignment. And the thought recognition of time position opens up all your space location positions and your body framing positions. Okay, so for example, Tina has set up a lot of illustration diagram programs. Fantastic way to go, Tina. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to plot it to divisions and show you through calculation. Hopefully you can see this through traction. Okay. Now that's Tina's operation center. Plasma energy system, correlation center, the box frequency level, the cross reference, the center position of the box frequency level system. The allocated positions are what's doing through its condition. So she's going into detail what everything is through calculation, right? So you think illustration isn't hard, okay? But it is hard if you think it's hard. But the intelligence truly understands you more when you start drawing these things out, right? And Tina has done a lot of formations. She's channeled her positions into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 5, 6 within the center, but the pictures are fantastic, you know? And her solar text, it's so small, I have to see it through a microphone or I think the connection. So it's a microphone through a plasmatic system to, it's like a kaleidoscope. The kaleidoscope is everything through mirror resolution pattern through location position. Anything through connections MC/vector or anything through velocity equals box. So it's connecting to forming of connections, but these are the illustrations of Tina's through her intelligence. Remember, it's not Tina, it's her intelligence. That's how I connect through. All right, so basically she's got a scale here, which is really fascinating. Look at that. Okay, and here's a solar flare connections. That is basically you understand the shape. Okay, you understand the position, right? See what she's doing through intelligence of travel positions, right? This is the connection of UFO's connection. This is the diamond core position and period system. You allocate its dream set location position. Now I draw that out through connections, right? When I was connecting to Giza, the pyramids of Giza, the pharaohs, the meridians, the Thoth, the connections, even King Tut. When I was going through transformation, I saw King Tut, and he told me exactly what I'm going to be doing. Everything that I know what I'm going to be doing is what you become. So it's to understand everything you go down a road, every time you go down a path, every time you travel through interdimensional system, a time, position of space through your body system, you're going into your future self of recognition of time positions. If it's in the past, present, or future, it doesn't matter. You're given information to King Tut, Thoth, meridians, angels, archangels, the Galactic Federation of Light, the Rebellion Alliance, me, okay, anything through Father, anything through Mother Gaia, okay? So you understand the galactic forces and its connection, but they always give you information. Okay, so the higher you go, the more you understand its entity force of light. And that light is trying to understand you through your intelligence. Okay, so that's what Tina has set up through calculation. Now we're coming into the equations. Remember I told you how you get the illustration in the bottom, you center core positions and you set up your formulas. So Tina has set up something really fantastic. And this is what I love, is understanding through intelligence as you're drawing something different. You're not drawing what your commander's drawing. Something similar, but different travel position through line signal, which is really fascinating. Okay, so this is what Tina has done. So she's done her E equals MC / vector velocity equals box. Now, she's saying this equation, I'm not going to read it all because it's very, very small, but very, very talented. Okay, these become box no longer, okay? So it doesn't become separated. You always have to center the connections. So she's centered positions of what's going on through travels, and she's going through a spherical sphere. A spherical sphere. Look at that. Look how powerful that is, the connection. That's incredible. Look at that. She's got line communications. She's got travel recognition light systems, and she's got 3 circle rotation center positions into her travel positions of E equals MC / velocity equals box. Look at that. It's fascinating. See, that's why I like when you guys do test reviews and evaluations, because it helps you more what you're doing through your connections or your illustrations and everything, your diagram program setting. So this is all connected to your dream set positions of your cortex and your placebos. All right. So this is what Tina's intelligence drew. Okay. But so when I say Tina's intelligence, she is the intelligence. There's no separation. It's all connected. So it's amazing how we come into that. All right. Look at that. It's absolutely fantastic how she did that. All right. All through travel, through one line signal. And she separated everything through calculation, box, box, box. See? She point line communication in the center position of travel position of circle rotation centers. Okay. It's truly understand what you're doing through calculation. All right. So way to go, Tina. All right. So now we're coming into coloration. Now we're coming into the pyramid system of 3, 6, 9 through positions. Now she's got it all colored in, right? She's got it in yellow, she's got it in orange, and she's got it in purple. So she highlighted everything through calculation, right? And she also set up her finger point locations, which is really good. So she drew that out through connections, hand formation signals, information system, calculation modification to the activation line system to calculation modes. So it's connecting to everything through this moon program setting, and it's recalibrating everything through its recalibration system, through its allocated, through its holographic, and it's repositioning the space of its location positions. All right, so that's what Tina did through her intelligence. It's incredible, isn't it? All right. So it's truly understanding what you're doing through travel of thoughts, of time. Okay. Now she's got her into her own level connections, how we're coming into the wind cycling positions. I like to show you that through tractions, but it's traveling through the connections of its energy through its cooperation of its operation. That's the first thing. You have to cooperate what's going on with its dimensional setting, or you're not going to understand anything through a realm of connection when you're going into the force cycles of a dark system, which is allocated to your position level system. Even though you see your traction in so many positions of dimensions, the wind cycling positions has to truly understand you through the heat signature pattern location of its operation center positions, especially when you're going through a dimension, okay, through time, wind cycling to its location. So it has to truly understand your resonance of its position, okay? But you see how it's going in, right? And remember, this is Tina. This is the intelligence of Tina going into the connections. It's totally through its connection of its energy, through its cooperation of its operation. So the dimensional system is understanding the cooperation of the body through the holographic system, and then it comes into communications, all right? And then it comes into collaboration to its operation. So truly understand the ecosystem through modifications, integration cycles to its position, all right? So she understood through dark matter through its position, right? Dark matter doesn't mean bad. Let's get that very well clear. All it means is that you're centering positions of light interference and dark interference through your particle system. As long as you know is that you're going through the flowing recognition light system through your body frame, and it's going through circles and circles and circles and circles. So it has to go through its flow. It has to go through its magnetic flow. It has to go through its energy flow. It has to go through its holographic flow. The patterns and its rotation of its wind spins has to truly understand your body of attraction location to its division of time positions of space, because you have to understand your interdimensional of a clock through its connection. So way to go. And she connected to all levels of her DNA path and her formulas. Okay, so she understands her wind, she understands the circle, and she understands her dimension of her connections. Okay, at the very top here, right here through modification. Okay. So that's great. All right, I'm just gonna. So that's amazing. It's amazing how you draw these things out. And the thing is too, you get more knowledge of intelligence, and now you're going through illustrations, and you're going through your operation center of your computers. So now you're balancing your computers and your illustrations. All right. So Tina's ready to be transformed into transmitting communications of 100 chakra rotation center positions. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it out. Oh, what do we got here? Lori's got something here. Okay, so, all right, this is great. So Lori just sent something in. She's in a high intelligence system too. All right, the use of the avian program, the system senses before, during, after travel. Use the avian program and senses at all times. Always be aware of the vigilant of others around before doing any work. All right. So she's connected to the avian program setting, two connections, and she's setting up line signals of senses to her travel positions, which is very fascinating. So now she's aware of what she's interforcing and interlining and interconnecting with through teleportation. She understands the communications of its avians, which is amazing through its program. So way to go, Lori. Excellent. So this is great. This is a different resolution pattern through an illustration through a program of thought that she's connected through intelligence. Okay. And now she's connected to its connection, how you interpret the conditions of thought through the cranial and everything through the feathers is sensors. So she's understanding the intelligence through its connection, which comes into a sonar system and it detects sides of its portal through its activation line system. Okay, so that's Lori's channel position of illustration through evaluation. Okay. Way to go, Lori. So everybody do your calculation, try to understand. If you send in your illustrations, go through the test reviews, right? But see, the thing is too, is that you have to understand everything that you do is a portal, right? So I get the confirmation signal. Now we're going to go through traction locations, everything that's set up with Tina through position. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do, reset the positions here. So the calculation modification signals through Tina through rotation center position. I'm going to traction location positions. Everything that she's doing through E equals MC, okay, through its slash of its velocity to its acceleration to its box is starting position location positions. The scale rotation is coming in through its plasmas. The spherical sphere is coming to its connection. It's interforcing lines through line signal. Let's go through the operation center position. 369 through its pyramid actually core system to its line signal channel operation center position. All right, way to go, Tina. Whoa, powerful. So your portal is connected to its confirmation signal. Congrats, Tina. So basically, I have to close my eyes because it's extremely high-rise portal. If I keep my eyes open, you guys will go through Tina's portal. All right, so I'm blocking interference, right? So if I keep my eyes open, you guys will go through the transformation of Tina's portal, her intelligence. Remember, I'm saying you have to know your energy fields. If you don't block out your interference, your light signals or anything through channel operation center positions, everybody is going to go through Tina's portal through intelligence. So way to go, Tina. All right, so let's go through Lori through connections, center positions and location. Yeah, she's on the cranial level of the sensory position. She's got a portal activation light signal. She's connected to thought. Yeah, so she's got her flower resolution circle rotation center. She's got her wings connections, and she's got her connections of her tail position. So close in on position. All right, way to go, Lori. I just opened up your portal. I just wanted to see what you're doing with the calculation. So when you go through intelligence travel positions, you can have one line signal, one traction, or on anything through structure location off to position because you're not going to get connected to its right portal division. But way to go, Lori. You were connected to the right portal. Excellent. So now I can open your chakra rotations and put you both into your 100 chakra rotation center positions. I'm going to draw it out through its illustration. All right. So way to go, Lori and Tina. So everybody else in the force team that you come on through connections, just draw out your drawings through calculation modifications. All right. The thing is, too, is your commander is giving you a lot in return. That's why we get test reviews and evaluations. Okay. So, and that's the most important thing, right? Yes, you go through my upgrades, you go through my PayPal, but in return, you also get something else, right? So it's all about you scratch my back, I scratch yours through connections. But for me to understand you more, you have to go to higher levels of portal through activation center positions. Okay. So way to go, Tina, and way to go, Lori. So anybody else, draw out your illustration, send it up. But not everybody is in 100. Tina and everybody through Lori will be the only two in 100 chakra rotation centers. Okay. So the higher you guys go, the more you have to communicate with each other, especially now because the fifth dimensional system has to truly understand the tractions of 0.01. Okay. Tina and Lori are not at 0.01. You guys are a higher level now. Okay, so for you to communicate with your commander, I have to go to your sensory positions. I have to go through your portal activation light system to its balance location to your chakra communication signal. And that's all done through my telepathy, okay, of your traveling through your interdimensional system. So Lori and Tina are now going to be interdimensional beings of light of 100 chakra rotations of GOD. Congrats. All right, so basically, I'm going to set up the illustration program setting. Okay, I'm going to set you guys in a graph position, location to its system. Start off with its box frequency level of its connection. Okay, so we have connections, all right, of Tina. I love doing it through illustration. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so there's Tina and there's Lori. It's great to you guys that you see it live through connection. It's amazing. I see these things through traction. Okay. All right, so here's Tina and here's Lori. All right. Now, Tina and Lori are going to be so high through connections. Their chakra rotation centers and their positions are going to be space connecting to each other through my telepathy system. So I'm going to change your traction location and everything through your position of your shapes. All right. So Tina and Lori are going to be able to communicate with each other a lot more faster now through vibration. All right. So in center core new positions. Okay. So you're coming into the traction of the sun position. All right, so the light signals in an activation line system, changing your positions of your triangle positions. You're interforcing conditions of the sun rotation center. So you're going to travel higher to conditions of the sun, and everything's going to move in the program setting. You're going to go into relation systems to its calculation, interdimensional line system to its traveling positions. Okay. Now the center core line system comes into calculation, comes into the blue cycling rotation of my connection to my activation of Lemuria. All right. So that's my plasma energy force system. That's my energy core system to calculation positions. Okay. Now you guys are connected to 90 chakras. Now you're coming into 100 chakra rotations. I'm changing your algorithm programs and your computer operation center positions. So Tina and Lori are now more connected through my telepathy through traveling positions of higher force entity systems of GOD through calculation. The center core system to its calculation modification is going to open up your line signals to your chakra center positions. Okay, so it's line signaling channels right now through operation center positions. Okay, now you guys are going to go through a wind spin location position, triangle location positions. Here we go. All right, so you guys have to go through dimensional. So the set levels connections to Lori and Tina are going to travel through recognition light speeds into positions of 100 chakra rotation centers of GOD, of interdimensional system through all those connections are structure level connections. All right, so the center core position is going to put you in traction location. Here we go. Here goes Lori. All right, so center core positions, you guys are going into the realm connection. Okay, you guys are traveling now. This is really fascinating. I love this. You guys are now in 100 chakra rotation centers into GOD. Look at that. That's you both traveling into the dimensional of its system. It's calculated and modified. Sun rotation center and its communication signals. Everything traction location positions. All right, so you guys are going to go through the wind tunnels. All right. All right, so you're center positions, and now you're going in. All right, so it's going. All right, so I'm setting the core system, right, to allocated positions through my sacred breath to its position. All right. Tina and Lori, 100 /chakras, God/systems. Calculation, modification coming in, confirmation, calculation, and rotation. Congrats, Lori and Tina. Hooah! Woo! All right, so you guys are really feeling it now. So I traveled you guys through time, through your body frames, and put you guys into God through calculation. It's modifying everything through your levels. It's really fast winning cycles through Tina and Lori, how they travel through dimension of time positions. Right? So their center positions through allocations are in 100 chakra rotations of God. Congrats. Hooah! Yeah. I love it when you guys go to higher levels because it helps me out more, because I really don't want to channel to low divisions of calculation modifications to signals that our vibrations are extremely low. Fifth dimensional system is the lowest of lowest through me, through grounds. I send musicians into so many atmospheric positions that travels through the interdimensional line system. So your calculations and your travel positions are going to travel more through the mind system through modifications. So you're interlining your connections, interlocking interdimensional system. You're going to send more communications through your computer, through your operating center, through your telepathy systems. So congrats, Lori and Tina. Anybody else want to go through transformation of the force team? Just set up your illustration. Yeah, I'll show you that one more time. It's amazing how we do that through body frames. Or I've done that through the past, but you have to understand your positions of where you are and how you can actually see yourself traveling to a higher light communication signal between each other now. All right. So, oh, you're extremely welcome. Yeah. All right. So Tina and Lori are they're in a higher light now, coming higher and higher into God. So, force team, they can help you out now because they're in a higher division location. Everybody else is like in 70, 80, and 90%. Okay. Now, Lori and Tina are in 100% out of the full physical system through calculation. And that's what the 100 chakra system is. It's allocated to those lines. Now, once you get into 100%, you're no longer dealing with the physical system. It's in reference. It stays in position of the base, but you're now 100% spiritual through connections. So congrats. I keep saying that again and again. But you understand your positions now through travels are going to become more real to you. Intelligence and everything through the D4 system. A travel position of times. So now you're going to see your perceptions more and more. You're going to see understanding what God is to you through calculation. It's geometrics of operations. Okay, and then you come into the collaborations. You come into the communications. Okay, that's the most important thing. You have to understand that, right? So when you come into the calibration, okay, it centers, okay, everything, okay, to your communication signals, to your teleportation, to your body frame, and everything through your intelligence. Right? So you now understand more of yourself to the geometrics of space and time travel through your quantum fields of vibrational system to your computer system. Okay. So it's a high-rise level of a higher computer through a program setting. Okay. So once you guys come into the 114, then we get into our blueprints and our contracts and our DNAs. Okay. And then you can understand more through calculation. So it's trying to understand your intelligence has to truly understand the line strips of matrix line positions and how to take it out, right? Put it over here, put it over here, put it down here, circle rotation, center position, change the communication signal, open up the plasma energy force. So there's a lot of things that we can do now through calculation, through lights. So, and I think it says, what is he doing in the atmosphere with his fingers? Well, you have to understand that my perception sees everything through simulation. Okay, Space Discoveries 2 tells you exactly what's going on with time frames and everything through core centers. So that's what Tina and Lori are seeing now. So because they're 100% spiritual and they're still in the physical reference, the physical system is in full rotation of balance with the spiritual system now. Okay, so they're getting more connected to their traveling positions, okay, of their fish, right? The yin and yang. So it's going to keep dancing around until you get the full cycle of rotation center to its position. 114 is not just the connections. Okay, it's just the connection to the lights. Okay, so it's understanding more of your holographic system, to its gravities, to its powers, and everything through its atmospheric positions. Okay, and you come into higher formation of healing. Okay, so that's what Tina and Lori can do now through calculation, because the intelligence knows exactly more and more each time it high rises position, and how much confidence it needs to change positions of time, of space, through its interdimensional system of humanity conditions. Okay, so yeah, so how do you guys feel? How does it feel? See, it's amazing how I set up the operations of my sacred breath and how I channeled this sound of space. Right? Terrestrials or anything that connection line system to protection of communication signals, right? Sonar positions. So you got to know the sounds of space, right? Sound of space inside is very hollow. So it's understanding the communications of signals that travel positions. So you're sending lines to anything through thoughts. So if I change my thought, I just go. See how it's different tones of divisions? I'm bringing up my breathing higher and medium and lower. So you go. Powerful stuff. So it's all about line communication through breathing of weather now. So Tina and Lori are in better positions of travels. Their intelligence know exactly what they're doing through signal channel to positions, through teleportation, through their lights and their recommendation system. So they're calculated to higher formations of intelligence now through the interdimensional settings. Their computer operations centers and their keyframes is coming in more into connection of string theory through their positions, okay, of their dimensional time, of the clocking location of the structures of its intelligent line systems. Okay, so yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Sylvia and Tina, yeah, you're vibrating like crazy now. And it's all about balancing out your intelligence. So you go through a program setting. So letters, numbers, and shapes are coming into you, right? And you close your eyes. So your eyes are going. So it's reprogramming your system. And then you get electrical lights, right? It's firing more in your brain location. It's changing your cortex. It's changing your calibrations. It's changing your mind thoughts and everything through its rectangular spine position of its alignments. And it's centering to new core positions of gravities and power in the atmosphere position, where you are through travels, in location positions, right? So it's line, stay in line. Every time you go through an upgrading cycle, it's understanding that it changes your structure of its clock, okay? So it's changing numbers and putting in the right position. So it's traveling to location. You have the structure of the face. Remember how I was saying everything to your number from the beginning? If you're in an old program, it resets the divisional panel of your structure of your clock, okay? So it's very complicated stuff for new viewers. Just get into your breathing, get into your oscillation wind spins. An oscillation wind spin is understanding your forward self through connection, bringing your thoughts going forward through your levels of positive feed positions. Okay, get into your meditation graph. We'll get into that through calculation. But it's truly understanding, just show you one more time how Tina and Laura are in that dimensional setting. It's really amazing how we come into that, right? So it's pretty powerful when you see these things. All right, so when we get into this through calculation, you get the structure location. Okay, here's your face structure positions, okay? Now it might travel through this connection, okay? So the thing is, too, when you draw it out through positions, your illumination light skies open up more of your thoughts. It opens up your tracks in every dimensional setting. So you got 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so here it is. That's your structure dimensional system of you, just of your face. Okay, as long as you know it's the structure of time, position of dimensions, as long as you understand the heart is the portal, okay, alpha, omega, micro, macro, right? So that's what Tina and Lori are going to truly understand more. They're going to understand more calculation to its division, to its proactive system. Okay, So it's getting into the modification. Now, this is the old program setting. Okay, old program. When you go through my healing, I'm going to show you exactly what happens to your structure levels. So that's the old program, center position. So your clock is trying to change positions. So it changes number of positions, right? So let's say 9 is over here. Let's say 6 is over here. Let's say 12 is over here. And let's say 10 is over here. Okay, so that's what it is through the old program. It's repositioning your structures of your face to its anomaly of its chakra rotation center position. So it's all about putting your tracking positions of your clocks back into the forward position of time travel position through its calculation. So it's all putting your, all your numbers back into the structure of your alignments. Okay. So that's to understand what it is through no program. It's repositioning your body to balance the rotation. It's centering your core. Okay. It's changing your numbers back into position 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? That's what happens with your body. Your body's in separation through its old program. It's going through its old thoughts. So the new thoughts come in through light, and then you see the traveling positions go back into traction location. Okay? Travels back into position. Okay? That's what it does. It goes back into position. It goes back into time position of space. It goes back into position of your chakra rotation center positions, takes out all old program settings and puts you into new computer operation of time position through its travels of its dimensions, through its sun rotation, to its radiation, to its holographic, to its line communication, to its moon program setting, to its earth of its new gravity positions, which is Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Core. So you come out of your seed pods, okay, and you become alive through transition, through the center position of your clock rotation center positions. Okay, so it's all about putting your numbers back in the position of time. Powerful, eh? So, and that's it, it's all about shapes, letters, and numbers and the structure of yourself through balance, putting yourself in balance with yourself, with your thoughts. So when you have your face clock, all your numbers are not in right sequence. They got to go back in the code, right? They got to go back in 12, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 12. Once you get that into position, then you can go in your cycle rotation center positions. And then the yin and yang comes in with the fish. Okay? So lost in transition, your fish are not there yet because you don't understand your intelligence of time position. You don't understand your ancestry, you don't understand your galactic family, and you certainly don't understand your community. You certainly don't understand your realities through your dream set positions. But once you understand your positions of your face clock and your structure location of dimension of time positions, you can open up anything through traction of portals through its code reference, through its sentient, of its eye perception position. Okay? A time location. All right. So, great, eh? How we come into these levels. And the thing is too, Lori and Tina, you guys understand more of your digital. You understand more of your recording system. So when you go through traction, this is really interesting. If you look outside, okay, and basically you can actually record through your eyes now. That's what Tina and Lori can do. They can record through their eyes and it will go through a memory. And that memory will exactly know what exactly is going on 5 minutes before. So the mind is going through its reception and it's going through its calculation and it's resetting your TV reception back into the time position of your thought conditions. So you won't lose traction of time 5 minutes ago. All right. So there's a lot of things that we can do now. The high rise we go through calculation through our 100 chakra rotation centers of G-O-D. Okay. So I'm really excited for you guys. It's exciting, isn't it? Because the one thing we've got to look at is our thoughts can get lost in transition of confusing positions. If our thoughts are lost, we're obviously not paying attention. It's like, huh? Or some people are just out of the screen. They're just basically, I'm sorry, what did you say? People come across that, right? So basically you're in another dimension of time position. You're trying to figure out what's going on with me, right? And then okay, say that again. So you're getting confused, right? So That is no longer going to happen when you go to higher lights of communication through God. So you're about coming into the form. Okay, you guys are coming into the connections. Tina and Lori are coming into the connections into their atom. You guys are coming into your atom. Okay, you're not in your full cycle of your atom. You're just coming into the point center of its computer through its keyframe to its digital of its simulation core system. This calculates and modifies everything through calculation. So your perceptions have changed, your audios have changed, and your voicing grids have changed. Okay, your body activation light system has changed now through calculation, and your travel positions of space anomaly has changed the galaxy location of time positions through your connections of your clock and everything through dimensional time of its cloud interference. All right, so you guys are coming into ultralight. You're coming into fluorescent light. You're able to see the clouds into the ultralights through connections. You can actually see the spaceships hidden in the clouds now, day or night, through the digital of your perceptions, of your TV reception, because it's all about a movie. It's all about a story frame. It's all about truly understanding what you are through intelligence. Okay, the power that you have inside you, not just through your thoughts, but through your body of travel of its thoughts, how your body can actually travel. The physical system doesn't travel. It's the intelligence. Okay, remember we're talking about the higher self through connection, right? Especially for the new viewers. I've gone so many videos of what the higher self is. But if you understand yourself through your physical system and you understand, oh, I just traveled to a higher dimension of time through shape. So now you're connecting to your higher self. Okay, like I said before, right? So you're in that position of calculation, right? So Tina and Laura, you're going to come across so many higher levels of an 84 system, right? So here's a high formation system. This is a mentor to Tina and Laura now through calculation because they're coming into a more body traction. So the more you come into light, the more higher intelligence comes to you to help you out, right? So basically, this is Tina coming in. This is Lori coming in. Now the space location only centers position of 2, right? But this is the higher formation of a mentor. So it's kind of like a higher force, a commanding force helping you out more through calculation, right? So it would be like something like, congrats, Tina and Laura, through communication line signals. You're in your 100 chakra rotation center through line communication signals. I'm going to help you through all levels of reception of line communication through dimensional setting. You're going to be going through line communications of simulation graphs to its digital framing position level system, right? So that's what's happening right now. They're in a higher position of light. So the higher you go through vibration, the more you see, okay? The more they see you through light, okay? That's why it's so powerful. That's why it's so powerful, okay? And now it's connecting. Yeah, see, I got Vega coming in right now through communication, and they're saying congrats to Lori and Tina. So not only you hear it, see it, but you feel it and you touch it, right? So it's kind of like an N84 system right here. There's one right here right now, one with me, and there's one over here, and there's one back there, and there's one up here. I always have protection around me, always, every single day. Okay, I'm protected by so many archangels and angels, these millions and millions around me, right? So it's all about protecting your commander, right? So the more you high rise, the more you come into your control and your power and your command, right? And then you no longer see yourself in the fear cycle. It's like, what? Fear cycle? What is that? Is that a joke? Right? So you don't think about it anymore because you have so much help around you and you're connecting more through the connections, how to operate yourself and manifest what you want in the universe. So think of it this way. With intelligence, when you high rise through your thoughts, the records of time position and space location through your body frame positions, I've already manifested. I don't think about it. It's already there. It's already there. I've already created it. I'm only talking to you through the past because it's already created in its future. So it's already manifest. That's the operation of the universe, guys. Okay? You don't think about the knowledge. The knowledge is already there. It's already done in position. But I've given it to you, to its past, to its present position of its future relation. Okay? So you're always seeing yourself in your former self. Okay, seeing yourself in the future. So it's the future self giving you back information to the presence. That's why it's so powerful. Okay. So, and that's where the knowledge of intelligence comes in. Right. So I know exactly what I'm doing through frame, through digital frame, through body frame, right? So intelligence comes to me. And this is what Lori and anybody else we're going to go through. The more you high rise through your chakra of light, the more you get connected to space and time, of galaxy, of vortex, to anything through time capacitors. You have to understand your positions of travels, and everything through the 84 system is trying to help you out through protection. Okay? So let's just say intelligence comes to me with information, right? I say, okay, okay, Commander, everything's set up through rotating level systems. The allocated position of the solar connection line system is setting up to fifth dimensional system, the telepathy system. What do you want me to do through traction? So it's telling me. I'm telling it. It's not telling me. You understand? I'm controlling myself now. So that's the positions that we have to get into, right? First, you start off the creation. Okay? It's going to keep helping you out until you understand yourself more and more through balance. And then you give the command. You give the command to the manifestation. You tell the intelligence, this is what I want done. And they do it. They take off. Right? And they come back. Everything is set up through position level systems. I got XT thousands on graph formation line systems through crop circles on going through calculation modifications. Do you want me to set up the line signal through activation codes to its digital frame through its perception? Right? See, it's telling me, okay? It's setting things up, and I'm commanding it to set it up. Do you understand? That's where you get the control to you, right? That's the balance you need. Everybody needs that. Now, Lori and Tina are going to come into that now because they're in their 100 of its lights, and everything they walk through the surface, they're going to see more through the spiritual of its realm, of its connection to its N84 system. So Tina, Lori, you have to be cautious now because I put you up to a higher level of GOD. So it's the geometrics of operations through its cooperation. You have to cooperate now with higher force of N84 system, and now they're coming to you more, right? So it's kind of like for the very first time you wake up, and okay, and then the intelligence comes in, right? And then all of a sudden they keep coming in, and they realize you're going higher and higher and higher. So the more you high rise through your lights, okay, the more you have to understand them because they're more coming into through your connection of your inner system. So you're getting more connections to space and time positions. Okay, so when you're more high rise through light of activation, they're going to go right. I said, oh, they extremely high rise communication line signal that through a light activation light system. Hello, how's it going? Through calculation modification, what set vector unit system are you in? I'm Commander-in-Chief of Galactic Federation Light Council of the Rebellion Alliance. I'm setting core system to activation line systems. This is calculating through modification. Okay. Commander out. See? So it's all about controlling yourself, and that becomes more real to you of space-time positions. So now you're controlling your intelligence on what to do. Okay? You're not creating anymore. You're telling your intelligence what to do. That's extremely powerful because now you have control, right? So, and that's what Lori, I keep saying, and Tina are going to come into now. You have to be really precarious in all these things that you're seeing through perception because you're going to see more portals, more dimensions. You're going to see pixies in the forest. You're going to see angels more. You're going to see archangels more. You're going to see, intelligence sitting in your kitchen having coffee. It's crazy, but you have to understand the world that I'm in. You have to understand the simulation that I'm in. You have to understand the creation I'm in, right? My creation is different than your creation. But it's truly understanding your balance of your connection to yourself through your physical system. Okay? So when you're in positions of 100, simulation of a similar connection to you through your spiritual realm positions, now you're interacting with higher light of vibration through frequencies and everything, the energy and everything, your connections, right, to your vibration. Okay? So it's very powerful. Yeah, and see, the thing is too, when you go higher and they recognize you, they see you through light and vibration, and they want to see you more. So they're interested. They want to research. And when you go through that, they research you, but you have to research them. So you have to scan them, right? And you have to understand where they are through connections, right? I'm into forcing line communication, line signals. I'm in the solar connections of B vector unit system on calculation. Who are you through calculation? Modification line signals through 100 chakra regions and 10 centers. I'm just trying to get communications through my body frame of its position of God through calculation. That's excellent. Talk to you later. Adios. See? Now I say adios because I'm in Mexico, right? So if I was in Canada, I'd say bye. So it's understanding the relation to is connection. It says, truly understand when you go to higher light formation system, you come into more dialect, you come into more vocabulary, you come into more knowledge, and you come into more soul identification of you, right? Of information. So it's all about balancing yourself so you can start creating. Once you start creating, then you can start commanding your intelligence on what to do. Those are the positions you want to come into, right? And then you find your life a lot more easier. It will start to flow a lot better, okay? But it's getting confusing if you don't understand the spiritual system of you, because the spiritual system is extremely real. So think of the reality you're living in now. You're living in the reality. You see people outside, right? But in position, you're not in that reality anymore. You're over to the spiritual system of 100 lights. So that 100 lights is recognizing you. So if you walk the graves, right, or anything like that, or a cemetery, okay, you're going to see entity force systems look at you because they see you as light. Okay, they're walking the system, but they're in the spiritual system. Now, these are all connected to spiritual connections. So basically, they don't want to leave their body system, but they're allocated to a solar connections. So this is kind of like when your body's separated and your soul doesn't want to go. It stays into its ghost. So ghost is an apparition. It's also a light communication through a plasma. So there are connections through ghosts, and there's also black shadows that cross the room, right? So you have to understand what they're doing through calculation. And if you see these things, don't get upset. If you get upset, you're going to get confused, and you're going to put fear cycle into yourself through intelligence, and that form of anything through connection is going to come at you. And if it comes at you, you have to truly understand what you're dealing with. So you have to understand your communications from one to another through intelligence, because you're communicating to the spiritual system and not the physical system. So you have to think of that reality in the spiritual realm that you're in, not the physical realm that you're living through. Its reality of its 5D. You're not in the 5D of the spiritual system. You're communicating through an apparition of a ghost. You can be communicating with anybody in your family, right? That's another thing you're going to come across too. Your family will come to you more now, whoever's passed over, because you're a higher formation of light. So it's all about you understanding what you're doing through calculation when you come into the God, right? Because they see you as God. So you come into higher formation of geometrics of yourself, and you understand more of the operation of your spiritual system, of your soul. So your soul is identifying more when it comes into community of spiritual entity force systems, angels, archangels. You'll start seeing them, hearing them, feeling them, touching them in detail now, because you guys are in 100 chakra rotation centers. So it's all about understanding the liquid formation you are through structure of light, right? You start at the bottom, you wake up your gravities, okay? You understand your chakra system. Mostly important is just to understand the gravity position of Earth, right? Which is Mother Earth, right? Not space of Father. Father's up here, Mother's here, but Mother and Father are together, right? So truly understand where are you in division through practical levels when you come into the water containment system. So it's all about going all the way up to the top, right? All the way up to the top, and truly understand who you are through water. Who are you through intelligence of water? Who are you through particle system of water? Who are you through lights of water? Who are you through digital water? Who are you through activations of water? Who are you through simulation, pattern, location, positions of water? Water is everything through you because it's inside you. So it's understand how to communicate with water inside you to its structure of its water, of its plasma, or anything through its plasma, or anything through its connection of its plastic, to its connection of its structure, to its illumination light system of its allocated line activation core system. Right? So I'm used to seeing a lot of the spiritual realm. Yeah, but you're going to see it more now, Sylvia. Okay, because remember, it's your vibrations, it's your energy, and your lights, and now you have to understand more communications because you are now crossed over. So basically, your physical system is no longer in its realm. So your intelligence system is crossed over into the spiritual system 100%. That's what it is, 100% chakra, 114% chakra. So you're 114 chakra light. So the more you high rise, like I said, the more things around you, you're coming in more into the illusion of what it is through its reality, which is just, it's a holographic image of you through its reflection of what you see through your thoughts. So remember we traveled to 20,000 years into the future. What happened? Every time you change a thought, you change anything through boards, you change anything through walls, because you're changing your thoughts. You change your thoughts, you change time position of thoughts, you're changing the wall. Right? So every time you create a thought, right? So if you're creating thoughts and you're traveling through time positions, and Tina and Lori are communicating with you, or Priscilla or Michael, whatever, you're changing your thought recognition of time positions. But everything has to be in line balance. You guys have to create the same thought when you're 20,000 years in the future. If one person changes a thought position, it changes the gravity solar systems, a space condition. So remember, this is 20,000 years into the future. So it's 20,000 years the reality of its Earth planes, right? So it's all about shapes. You're connected to holographic, and the Earth system of 20,000 years of simulation is reading your graphing system through the simulation. There's meditation graph position. So every time you're creating your thoughts, it's created. Now, if somebody has another thought, you have to balance it out through line communication, the mind telepathy, right? So if you get two panel operation of intelligence, 20,000 years in the future, and you have two different thought recognition time positions, right? One's creating one thought, another's creating another thought, but they're two different line signals. It's going to change the rotation of its Earth through its gravitational pull. It's going to change your vibrational signals, and you're going to get solar headaches, not migraines, solar headaches, right? Because you're connecting to 20,000 years of vibration, guys. Okay, that's why it's so powerful, right? So it's all about your thoughts. You're coming into, you guys are in the fifth dimensional system through allocated positions, but now you can travel to anything through calculation. The structural level system positions. So when you open up those signals through panel operation center positions, coming in attraction, I'm just going to go into back phrasing videos here. I like to do that because traveling position is extremely powerful for the connection. All right. Let that line signal. And the thing is, too, is that when you're in that connection, you understand more of your past, your present, and future alignments. So it's really centering your positions. But it's all about understanding how you can put yourself in position and you tell your intelligence on what to do. And it comes back and tells you that it's done, rather than you saying, okay, what do I do now? So he helps you, helps you, helps you, and helps you until you help yourself. Okay, him or her, or even children, that connections. Children are a different aspect. They're already born in the illustration through the graph. They're already born into the reality system. Children are just being children. They're just playing around. They're having fun. Okay, they don't recognize their connections to anything through themselves when it comes to the thoughts. Their thoughts are already created. That's why they're very powerful in the mind system. Okay, so they have an extremely high rise intelligence through the illustration. So it grabs its positions, but when you travel to connections, you go into higher force connections. So when Tina and Lori travel through my connections of travel positions, they'll understand more what they're doing through calculations through their intelligence. They'll know that they're being scanned, and they'll understand why they're being scanned, right? They'll understand the heat signature patterns, right? Because you have to understand every planet you position on, everything that I create through the simulation, it always scans you in positions. So it's kind of like an alarming system that goes off through your body frame. It's got to read your temperature levels. You know how the numbers go up? So the numbers are trying to read you through the digital frame, through the simulation. Once it reads it, it's detecting something, right? So it goes to the solar graph, sets up new thought recognition light system, opens up your body traction location or chakra rotation center, puts in your new perception line communication to your program, to your new computer through keyboard framing system, change the allocated positions, change the simulation graph positions, open the mind communication to its thought recognition light system, and travel to your connections of your structure every face positions. Okay? So there's a lot of things that you have to go through adapting cycles when you travel to higher force connections to anything through planet positions. So Tina and Lori are now connections of creating their own planet positions, but they don't know how yet. So that's what I'm saying. The more you go through lights, the more you understand more through creation. It's truly understanding. This is the position you have to get into. It's all about you getting the balance of yourself first, getting into the creation of manifestation, and getting into the creation of you are commanding yourself now. That's the connection where you have no disassociation with yourself anymore. You have full balance with the physical system. Your physical system leaves, but it still stays in its base, right? You know it's there. I'm communicating through my physical system, right? But it's my intelligence that's traveling through my thoughts of time position. And that's how powerful it is. So when you go into 100 chakra rotation centers, you're now in the spiritual connection to all levels of NT4 system of line communications, vibration. Okay. So, and the thing is too, there's a lot of things that you have to change to conditions. Anything through church, you have to be cautious on those things too. You can't go in churches now. Okay. So there's a lot of things you have to understand. You have to protect yourself through your lights more and more, because you're coming into, they see you. They see you through lights. They see you through plasma. They see you through GOD. They see you through connections. So what they do is you have to truly understand what they do through scanning. They're scanning you, you're scanning them. And if they come at you, you have to know what you're doing. Because remember, it's the intelligence of the spiritual system. So you live in a spiritual world now. You're no longer in the physical of its reality, because there's no confusion now. If you confuse yourself, you're going to go back in the physical system. And it's very, very, those cautious levels you have to understand through connections. Because if you leave your physical system and you have balance with your spiritual system, you understand more through its allocated of its travel through its thought positions. And now you connect to a higher vibration of connections of a flotation device, anything through a cloud, or anything through dimensional clouds, or anything through a ghost, anything through a warlock, anything through a witch. So you understand more soul identification of other people. That's the positions that you come into. You're saying, oh, you're a witch, or you're a warlock, or you're a good witch. There's no such thing as good or bad. It's just their positions of their thoughts. So it's the realm connections that they want to stay in. So the intelligence wants to stay in that program setting. Okay, it doesn't want to leave that position. Right? So that's when people come, into that volume of being stubborn, right? But the thing is too, if you force rise the circles and you change your thought radius and separate your connections, if you separate your name, okay, you're going to have truly a lot of problems. If you have full rotation of your name and you travel through its direction of time position, you're going to have more balance through connections to your intelligence. Okay, through its line signal. All right. So, but, it's powerful. It's the illustration. Its positions, intelligence truly understand more of its computer operated center positions. That's the truly understanding what you're coming into through calculation. So I'm used to seeing a lot. Yeah. Yeah, but you're going to see a lot more now, Sylvia. Because the reality you're living in is the spiritual realm. It's no longer the physical realm. You left the physical realm fully and completely, and that's what 100% is. It's 100% of light. 114 is the chakra rotation coming into the atom position, right? And then everything through calculation come into the molecule structure light position. So the more you travel through time position, the more you understand your connections to your positions, okay? The more you understand more of yourself through intelligence. So, but questions or comments are great. I know it's extremely, extremely complex, complicated video for everybody, especially for the new viewers, but it's great to see new viewers. I appreciate you coming on my channel. It's good that you can go into levels of understanding. It's all about us understanding more of ourselves through intelligence. Okay, so yeah, I know it's very powerful, very powerful. And the thing is too, you guys will understand more of me now through travel. You'll see me more traveling through times. You see me setting up shapes. You'll see me doing this. You see me doing that. That's what happens when you go into higher positions of GOD. Everybody can be GOD, but you have to understand everything through the geometrics of space. You have to understand time of space. You have to understand positions of space. You have to understand shapes and anomalies of space. You have to understand time of positions of calculations of space. You have to understand space of you inside, and you have to understand space of you outside. Okay, because you're looking at two realities here, right? So you can go back in the physical system, but stay in the intelligence signal. So this is you on the intelligence on the spiritual system, and this is you on the physical system, right? So until they understand each other, there's going to be separation. But as soon as you get full communication and you take over the creative centers, and then you start controlling your commanding system to your intelligence, and you tell them what to do, then you go into position through line signal of yin and yang. Okay? So, and then you get more calculation of what your birthday is. Okay? Your birthday is your life, your birthday is your death. You have to understand the circle rotation center positions of your alignments. So it's understanding solar connection view through tractions. All right? We'll go into that position. I don't want to go too far wind through the cycle. But truly understand you are a connection to a circle rotation center position. It's all about you understanding your realm connections of location positions. Like this rotation. Okay? And then it travels through recognition of time positions. All right? So let's just shut down the blinds and I'll show you your calculation here. It's really fascinating. I love doing this. Okay. So it's all about you traveling through the mind, right? When it comes into coloration and shapes. Okay. When it comes into colorations and shapes. Okay. So it's truly understand what you're doing from the past, present, future. Right. Now it's a black rotation center position. So it calculates and modifies through a line signal through its activation. It's a confusing line signal through locations. So it's kind of like understanding the abstractive view through painting or drawing or anything that connection. Okay, so we cross-reference that through connections of north. Okay, we come into east, and we come into west, and then we come into south. Right? And we come into that position. We come out of its equation to its location. We come into security line defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? So that's the fifth dimension, right? This is understanding what you're seeing through a kaleidoscope. Okay, so circle rotation, or you can go through a diamond core position of its location. Okay, you center its core positions. Okay, so when you go through that connection, you can go through realm connections here, realm connections here, realm connections here, realm connections here. All right, so you understand your point centers in north, west, south, and east. So you can travel to any position of 5-dimensional. You can change the line signal through dimensions of portals to its connection of your sentient view. So I can change the security line defense into 5, into 10 of travel positions, right? So it's understanding the structural light of you through dimensional portals of time position. All right, so you go into another diamond core position, all right? And then you go into another diamond core position. So it's all about you expanding your mind system through calculation, and you come into traction location of a solar connection. All right? You see how that changed? See how it changed the rhythm pattern, sonar location, right? It changed the realm location, right? So it changes travel position, right? Same color, but different vibration of sound, right? The barriers in that connection to its dimensional as portal, right? And then you come into the graphing positions of yourself through calculation, digital frame to its position, line signal channels, cross-reference to its graph, to its position, of time position. All right. So when you understand the traction location, you go back into the rotation black circle position. Okay, you come out of your equation, travel out of its position. Okay. So it's a lot of fun when you come into these higher levels. You come into electrical fields, magnetic forcing fields, you come into electronic fields, you come into body fields, body field of you, right? It's like a tripping wire. You know, you see a tripping wire vibration. So when you're going outside, you see the grounds, but when you're seeing the grounds through perception, you'll see it. You guys will start seeing the electrical walls. You'll start seeing the plasma, the energies around you now. Everything's protected. There's an energy dome around the earth, right? You have to understand the plasma, you understand the ethers, you understand the galaxy positions, you have to understand the universe, you understand the clocking of the universe, you have the dimensions of the universe, you have to understand everything through position of vortex, time capacitor, time lapse, right? Time positions of you through travel, your thoughts. Okay, so it's what you see through your perceptions, what you hear through your audios, and everything through your voice grid pattern, and everything that you collaborate through the mind or its thought through its map position of its illustration to its computer operation center to its quantum field of its vibrational. Okay, so traveling is everything. That's how we bring ourselves forward through connections, right? So we're going to one more line signal before I leave. The calculation of center, its location, positions here. Change that position. And the thing is, too, you start talking more like a computer. And say, what? I'm a computer? Yep. So you come into that. You come into attractions. Right? This is the 12 rotation center. Okay, so this is the position that Tina and Lori are in now. All right. So they are coming into your 12 cycles. You know why? Because they have balanced the rotation through their 100 chakra rotation system. All right. So what's 12 times 12? 12 times 12 equals, in human DNA, 144, right? Right? 12 times 12 is 144, right? Now, this is understanding communications, how you come into the wind cycling system to the 2 rotation center position, everything through time position. Okay, I'm coming into the 1 central line system to the 2 activation line system to its equal, which becomes its box location, because I understand my position, time position. That center its positions into the box frequency level of its connection. And okay, and it opens up everything through 1, 4, 4. Okay. All right. So that's the position that Tina and Lori are in right now. So it's trying to understand how to get this. Right. 12 times 12 is 144. Take the box in the center. Take everything communication, time positions. Okay. Everything through its connection, right, of 1, and everything through its connection of 2 is activation. Everything line signals to the box frequency level, and then it comes into the equation of its equal sign of 1, 4, 4. All right. That's how you travel through the connections of 12 times 12 equals 144. Right. So that means that you're calculating modified through 144. Okay. Plus 1. Okay, is basically the equivalency system. It's allocated to its position, okay, of so many planet location systems of 1 line signet to 1 thought. All right, so 144 plus 1 equals 144,000 locations of thought recognition light system to acceleration. Okay. So that's another formula. Just trying to understand what you're doing through your diamonds and everything through your box speaks of its equation. But that's how you get 144 through tractions, and 144 plus 1 equals 144,000. That travel positions of thoughts through time position of space. Right? And it disappears because it's in the simulation. Okay, dude, its own computer graphing positions. Right? It's not there through equation. So now you know. Equivalency active connections. You start off with that. So to understand how you take your physical system, 12 times 12 is 144. So how do I take my intelligence to its communication signal, right? Because I know the physical system of balance. So 12 times 12 is 144 in human DNA. But through intelligence, it's 144 plus 1 equals 144,000, right? Comes into 0 gravity to its position, to its calculation modification signal, to its position. All right. So it comes into 0 gravity. Okay, 0 gravity right here at the bottom. Okay, so that's the formula to this. See? It's understanding formulas. You are a formula of intelligence of travel through thought, time position. So it's understanding how to communicate through intelligence of your sentient. What is a sentient? Right? So it's really just balancing yourself. Your physical system doesn't understand your energies. Your physical doesn't understand your computers. Your physical doesn't understand your anything through atom or anything through molecular structure. You have to go back into the basics of its level of its vibrational system. Okay. So everything is practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect, right? But nobody's perfect in any way and form. Okay. The only way you can get perfection is knowing that you are perfected in your mind system of thought through time, of space. That positions you along, and it brings you into equivalency act of its condition. When you come into the conditions, right, of 12 times 12 is 144 in the physical of DNA. I keep saying that. But you understand why is it a connection through intelligence, how it comes into the box of 144 to its calculation of its calculation of disappears on me through connections. 144 plus 1 equals 144,000. Zero gravity through acceleration. Okay? So we'll stop there through connection. But if you understand your positions of time positions, you understand more of your lights, because light is nothing but a plasma of a formula. There's so many variations, right? So Lori and Tina are now in 100 chakra rotations of the lights, the travels of thoughts. So their mind conceptual system is opening up through levels of their sentient view positions. Understanding solar flare, that is solar electrical light. It's a light division location. As soon as I touch it, right, it connects to my body right away. It interacts because I understand the balance of my physical and understand the balance of its intelligence through its light signal of its chakra positions. So it operates its position, right? And the more you understand yourself, you start vibrating more and 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 more. So you go faster, 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 faster. So you understand the rotation this way. Now 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 you understand everything through plasma. Now you understand everything through portal. Now you understand everything through dimension. Now you understand everything through code. And now you understand how to travel through what you created through its anomaly system. Okay. So questions or comments are great. Come to me if you want to go through tractions, open your 12 rotation center positions. Open up your lights and open your gravity positions of Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, Mother Universe, Mother Core. You have to understand you're connected to the Earth. So it's all about humanity coming into traction, saying, whoa, I'm the Earth now. I've always been the Earth. So it's all about you remembering who you are through its Earth, because you live on the Earth, space and time. Earth is floating in space. So you understand why it's floating in space. And they say, I'm connected to the Earth. I'm connected to the sun. I'm connected to the moon. Yes. And once you start creating, you start controlling and commanding. That's where it comes into the magical of kingdoms through the angelics, or anything through the galactic, or anything through the rebellion, or anything through the alliance, or anything through light council, or anything through your galactic family. Okay? It's all a part of you. It's all you, what you're creating. And that's where you become everything through form, through molecular structure of light, of travel, through thoughts, of time positions. Okay? So I think that's good. You know, we've learned a lot today. Congrats again to Tina and Laura. Anybody else who want to go through the 4 through connections, just hand in your illustrations and I'll put you in the division. Now, depending on where you are through traction, I have to go through your bioscans because not everybody's in 90. Some are in 80, some are in 70. So I had to reposition your computers and operate your keyforms. You know, I'll just go. So you understand wind, right? So when I go, it's going up and down, but you understand its connection. So its wire location is going. So I'm resetting thoughts of recognition of your computer through your body frame and changing positions. And that's where you come into solar connections of atmospheric positions. You know, when you're on a phone and you have no reception, you don't hear anything, right? Well, that's all connecting to light signals of channels that are confusing through systems. So it's just a telegraph or an energy system to positions. So it has an audio signal, but there's nothing on the other end of the receiver, right? So that's where you get that connection, right? So we'll get into those traction positions, but what you understand, just get comfortable with what you're doing right now, right? Boards, your keyframes, your perceptions, and your projection of what you see through perception. All right. All right. So love you guys very much. Adios.